The instruments are from the German Renaissance. The voices are from 21st century America. And the music is from, well, we'll get into that a little bit later. But for the moment, choir master Donald Nally is warming up his singers for their very first take. Though this is Kile Smith's first major recording, the 51-year-old composer has been part of Philadelphia's new music community for decades and has written something in the neighborhood of 100 pieces. During a break in the recording on the breezy lawn outside the church, Smith said that the circumstances of his Vespers have been extraordinary, from start to finish.
A lot of times you beat your head against the wall because you've got an idea for a piece that you want to write, and you talk to other people, and you struggle with it. But this thing, absolutely all the pieces just fell together. And it's something that I wanted to write for a while. A few years ago I heard a performance of the Monteverdi Vespers, the 1610 Vespers. But when this conversation came together that Piffero and I were having, and this idea came up, it just exploded into this project that went beyond anything I could control.
Normally, Piffero doesn't play music that's less than 400 years old. Yet, the idea of playing new music isn't really that alien, considering that very old music involves a lot of reinvention. At least in this case, there would be a central authority, the composer, to tell them when they were on the right track. Bringing in conductor Donald Nally and his all-professional virtuoso choir The Crossing meant that Smith was dealing with musicians who could cope with most anything. Smith responded by writing music with 16-part harmony. Modern composers love writing this kind of harmonic density, but very few of them have the chance to sustain a 70-minute span of music without an intermission, and since this isn't an opera, without a plot. Conductor Nally discovered this challenge was well in hand.
That variety and the way in which he keeps us constantly, you'll hear voices for a while, and then you hear it with a harp, and then you might hear, and then suddenly you've got the shawms coming in. So I think that helps to sustain the evening very easily. I don't have to work hard to make a drama out of it. You do go on a journey quite naturally through what he wrote.
Even those with faith in Kile Smith didn't expect this music, not even Piffero's Joan Kimball.
To us, it feels like it's this brand new territory, and it's really quite liberating. So I'm loving it. We're all loving it, yeah. We took a chance, to be sure, and we really didn't know until we started rehearsing what it was going to sound like. And when we first started, our jaws just dropped. This is great. This is really, really good stuff and very exciting.
Many composers consider themselves to be, if not exactly religious, then spiritual. Kile Smith is quietly but deeply religious. He recalls experiences he had as a child when he felt the definite presence of God. Obviously, such spirituality is an advantage when writing a Vesper service. Nonetheless, British composer John Rutter has made a career out of composing sacred music and said years back that he didn't necessarily share the religious convictions of his audience. In contrast, when Kile Smith reads some of the psalms he set to music, he admits that his eyes well up.
There could be composers who don't believe any of this and set it to music and it sounds fine and it sounds pretty. I don't know what the answer is to that. But saying that, there's got to be a way that it strikes you and that it makes sense to you and that it is really important to you. And if it's not, you shouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole because you're wasting your time. You should be doing other things that are important to you.
The difference that I hear is between the external religious experience, the pomp, the pageantry, and the interior experience, which doesn't necessarily deliver answers to age-old questions of existence, but expresses the need for them. And that's more likely to touch all manner of Christians, Jews, Muslims, and maybe even atheists.